Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the B2B Marketing Excellence and AI podcast. Every week, I come to you with marketing strategies, tactics, tips that I've heard from business leaders that are working, that are going to help you achieve your goals faster. And then how we can all incorporate some of these AI tools to do our jobs more efficiently. Today, though, I am talking about how we need to really understand our audience by working in alignment with sales and marketing. Sales and marketing must work together for a company to grow. But let's first start about that target audience. A few years ago, I read a book by Donald Miller. It was called Building Your Story Brand. I love the book. It's a great book. If you haven't had an opportunity to read it, go read it. It's a very easy, fun read. And it really stresses that point that we need to put out in the marketplace our story, our brand, which would make us stand out from everyone else that's there. But as you build this story, the challenge becomes, who are you telling this story to? Who is the right audience? HubSpot reported that B2B marketers, only 42% know basic demographics about their audience. Now, any of you who have heard me speak before now is the time where you have to really know and understand your audience. So basic demographics isn't going to do it for you. You need to know more than just the basic demographics. But if you don't even know your basic demographics, start there. Start to find out what the title is and what the industry is, what the size is, and then learn more and more about your audience. But in the process, when you're doing this, you've got to make sure that marketing and sales are speaking, because sometimes marketing thinks the audience might look like this, but sales thinks the audience looks more like this. The two departments have to work together, because when they work together, that's when you can get that full picture of an individual that really would be interested in what you have to offer. These are the people that want to hear your story. They want to hear the story that makes you unique. So today, let's dive into some ways that you can start to uncover what is your perfect audience. Now, for one of my clients, they used Programmatic. They did a programmatic campaign. Now, a programmatic campaign is where you determine a specific profile that you think they are, maybe a title or an industry size, geographic, keywords, intent data, whatever you know about your target audience. And then they serve up banners in front of those people wherever they are looking on the internet. This is why programmatic is so good. After you run that programmatic campaign, you want to look at the results. And there's some programmatic platforms out there that are very good. They will show you what titles were interested in your banners, what industry, what company size. And what happened with one of my clients is they really thought that their employee size was 100 to 1,000. And so we put the campaign out there. What happened is, after a while we saw the results, we found that 250 to 499, no one in that group responded to the banners. What we were able to do with this information is now cut out that segment and only do the company sizes on either side, and their results got better and better. So we took it from the programmatic campaign, and now we started to look at getting leads that match that specific audience. Programmatic is great to get some great intel about what people are interested in what you have to offer, but then also test out certain messages or offerings, whether you say, oh, this is a checklist for this, or would you like to have an email or sign up for our video that comes out every week, whatever it might be. It gives you an idea of things you put out there. What are people responding to? What is your audience interested in getting? Programmatic, great way to start to really chip away from the whole big audience that you have to bring it in closer of a more refined group of people that would be interested in what you have to offer. When you get those details from a programmatic, I like to go to a platform I use, Seamless.ai. Seamless.ai is a lead generation platform that uses a lot of AI features. So it's real-time data. I can go in, I can look at specific companies, I can look by SIC code, I can look by radius, I can whittle down my audience to get exactly that group of people that I think are my target audience. I like to use Seamless for small, very specific groups and campaigns. So I'll take a small list and then I'll test different messages out with these people to see how they respond. Do they convert to sales? And then I'll take another small segment and I'll do the same thing again, changing up titles, maybe changing up the radius, maybe using some intent data. Maybe they researched recently about CNC or an HPLC machine or email marketing. You put in all those details and you keep changing them until you find that group that seem to be truly interested in what you have to offer. Seamless AI is great at doing that because Seamless AI can even work where you go into LinkedIn and you'll find a group of people who've responded to your post on a specific topic. Well, now you'd like to talk to them offline. You'd like to send them an email with more valuable content. Seamless can help you get the email addresses of those people who are linked in connections with you. This is how you start to grow that audience. This is how you start to grow your database because LinkedIn is great. It is great to make those connections there, but as a company, you always want to pull the people in to your in-house database. You want to have them there because one, you don't know if LinkedIn's ever going to change their logarithm, but you also want to have them in-house because that's when you'll be able to nurture them. That's when you'll be able to watch them, see what they're engaging with, and give them the specific pieces of content that will be of interest to them. So Seamless is a great way to really start to fine-tune that audience and find that look-alike that matches what maybe you uncovered with a programmatic campaign. And now you can test out different messaging. Once you have Seamless AI and you've cultivated this good description of your target audience, whether it was keyword terms they've been looking up, whether it was intent data, title, industry, size, radius, now you can take that information and find out what industry specific publication or conferences have subscribers and attendees that match that audience. This is great because when you go to industry specific publications or conferences, you know that these people are refined, they are vetted, they are definitely interested in this industry, this space. Why else would you be reading Laboratory Equipment Magazine? Why else would you be reading Metal Forming Magazine or Heat Treat Today? You would be reading it if you had an interest in that field. These publishers have already done this vetting for you. They already know that these people are interested in this topic. These publishers do a lot of work to make sure they have quality subscribers because this is what helps their advertisers get the responses they need. It helps them keep the quality of their publication. Their subscription list is a very valuable asset to them, and they do everything possible, keeping it cleaned, updated, compliant, but also making sure that these are the right people for their publication. So you want to start matching the audience that you have put together that picture to industry specific lists and conference companies. When you find these lists, now you can start setting out a nice cohesive strategy with email lists, banners, sponsors, so that they play off of each other. One-offs of anything doesn't work anymore. We all know that. We know that you get that one-off email. You're not going to turn around and buy this large piece of equipment. That doesn't happen anymore. People want to go do their research, but guess what? They get caught up with everyday life and work. And so they may not respond right away. Maybe they're traveling. Maybe their kid's sick. I don't know what it is, but people get distracted now. And that's why you've got to make sure your messaging is out there on different channels so that they saw the email and they're like, oh, I'm interested in this. I'm going to get back to it later. But how many of us get back to it later? I'll admit there are a lot of things I said, I'll get back to it later, and I don't. And I'm sure you're like me. So I like getting those reminders. I like seeing that banner again. I like seeing a second email saying, quick reminder, don't forget, you need to register now. So you use these industry sources across different channels to remind the people to come in and look at your offer, offering them more valuable content so that they start to build that trust with you. So they build a relationship. And it goes back to Donald Miller's book, you're building your story brand. Every time you go out there, you tell people a little bit more about your brand so that they get a gist of who you are, so that they feel they can trust you. Here at World Innovators, we've been around for 44 years. It is a family-owned business. We are all very vested in making sure that we give our clients the best possible service. And that's how we've existed for 44 years. But that story, when I put it out there about how my mother started the company and how we've evolved, that is how people start to build their trust in our brand. Take the time, get to truly know and understand your audience. So some takeaways from what we've talked about today is as we go and we start to use small, refined groups and seeing are they truly interested in what we have to offer, we've got to make sure that marketing and sales are working together. We've got to make sure that they agree. Because for marketers, we'll put those campaigns out there, we'll get leads. The sales team now needs to follow up. And they might be able to say, you know what? Large section of these leads were not of interest to us. Could we really target more this group of people? You need that feedback. Sales needs to give marketing that feedback so that they're not wasting money going after the wrong audience. Same with you don't want marketing sending all these leads because quantity is not the thing. Quality is. You don't want to be sending a large amount of leads off to sales. You want to send sales top quality leads so that they're not wasting their time going after people that will not be interested in what you have to offer. So sales and marketing must work together. They must share insights. The Seamless.ai platform, like I mentioned, is a great way to test out small groups to see who responds, hand them off to sales and say, what do you think about this small segment? Does this feel like it would be a good group for you to follow up with? You open up that communication back and forth, and that is when the magic will happen, because that is when you are going to see everything start to click. Marketing's not going to feel like, oh my gosh, nothing works. Sales not going to say, oh, these are rotten leads because no one's cultivating. They're only going to be sent leads that actually work. Knowing your audience will help you leverage the best specific industry publications and conferences. These publications and conferences aren't inexpensive, but if you know for a fact that you are reaching the right audience, it is worth it because the vetting that those groups have done is going to save the sales team 5 steps. They're going to leave from trying to get the right person. Are you truly interested to someone? I know you're interested. You just paid $2,000 to attend one of the Informa conferences. I know they're interested in what we have to offer. So the sales team can really start to go in with very detailed information that the recipient is going to want. They're going to go, oh my gosh, they so get me. This is exactly what I needed to hear about. Knowing and understand your audience is going to equal more sales. You are going to see a better return on investment, and you're going to see that business growth that continues to go up year after year. Because after every campaign, you analyze the results, you make changes so that every initiative you put out there, you're working smarter, not harder. We're all under time constraints, so we've got to work smarter. We got to utilize some of these AI tools that are out there, like Seamless.ai, so that we can truly get to know and understand the audience that are best for us. Every single brand out there is different and unique, and Donald Miller stresses this in his book. Know that unique audience. Tell your unique story, and that's when that relationship will form that will build trust. I hope you found the information in this episode to be helpful. Please hit subscribe, share with your friends, share with your neighbors, get the word out there about quality marketing and how marketing and sales must be aligned so that we can see business growth over the years. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to reach out to me directly at dpeterson@worldinnovators.com. Love to hear from you, but until next week, have a good week. Bye, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the World Innovators B2B Marketing Excellence and AI podcast. If you'd like to be updated when new episodes come out, don't forget to subscribe. Also, check out our social media accounts to stay up to date on B2B marketing trends.